Hey everybody, this is Tom. We're getting ready to start Passages, episode 1 of our Call of Cthulhu series. Thank you for your patience. We got a little bit of a late start tonight, but we're ready to go. We are going to have 4 players tonight. One is having some slight issues getting in, so we're going to move along and give her a chance to get everything settled. So I think in the meantime, I think I'm going to just quickly have our players just say hello and let us know who they're playing. So I'm going to start with Derek.
Hello, my name is Derek, and I will be playing Professor Lawrence Leland.
All righty. Hello to the professor. And let's go with Aloysius.
Hello, I'm Aloysius. I'm playing the occultist Algernon Blackwater.
Such an ominous name. I love it. So it just makes me think of like Ozzy albums or something like that. So, and last but not least, here's Maura.
Hi, I'm Maura, and I'm playing Loretta Licard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So we're going to just get started in a moment. We're going to play a snazzy intro video, and then we're going to jump into the insanity. And hey, everybody, we're ready to get started. Vala, are you with us? Don't think we can hear you yet. We'll keep trying. Well, what we're going to start off with tonight, and again, I like to warn people that this game could have some disturbing moments to it, with monsters and insanity and terror and blood and guts. I mean, that's probably the reason you're here. If you're not here for that and you don't like those kinds of things, you might want to go somewhere else, because it's probably going to get bloody and gory here. But after that, let's talk about where we're starting. We're starting in the year 1925, late April, in Providence, Rhode Island. A gentleman steps from a taxi outside of a place called the St. Thomas Club. It's pouring rain. I mean, it's about one of the heaviest downpours they've had in months, and it's kind of pretty. They're thankful it's not snow, that it's rain. But this gentleman steps from this car, steps over to an awning, starts to shake out his umbrella. This gentleman's name is Algernon Blackwater. Could you go ahead and give us a description of what he looks like?
Yes, Algernon. He's in his sort of late 30s, early 40s. He has sort of like shaggy, sort of like slicked back black hair, a somewhat disheveled looking beard. He has sort of like big, round glasses.
Okay.
And he is like what around when is this? Like what time of year?
April.
April. Okay. I'd say he's wearing sort of like a sort of like vest, and then sort of like a hat, sort of a buttoned up shirt with the sleeves rolled up.
Okay. As he kind of gets himself settled, he walks over to the doorway leading into the club. There's a gentleman in a tuxedo standing there. He's like, "Can I help you, sir?"
Here for the meeting.
Do you have a invitation? Now, Algernon did receive a kind of an odd letter from a prior contact of his, and it mentioned that he was supposed to be there to discuss a pressing matter.
I'll sort of like reach into my vest and pull out the invitation.
Okay. Guy takes it and he's like, oh, opens the door for you. And he says, just follow the red carpet up the stairs, and the meeting room's going to be at the top of the stairs on your left. Thank you for coming, sir.
I'll sort of just like somewhat sheepishly nod at him and sort of just go and walk in.
Okay. Club is immaculate, mahogany. It's like a mahogany staircase. I mean, it's just probably one of the nicest places you've ever been. Goes up to the top of the stairs, and there is a just a like a number on the doorway. Just says like number 3 at the top. And the door is closed. I forgot to mention. So
I'll sort of like stand outside it for a good minute or two and sort of just like look up at the number 3, and then eventually sort of like just take a deep breath and just open up the door and walk in.
Okay. As he steps in, he finds a room with kind of a long conference table. There are 5 other people sitting in the room, and he recognizes actually all of them. He remembers meeting them, and it's hard to forget when he met them. Was a year prior on that mysterious business that happened on that ferry ship, the Morning Star, when it ran into that trouble in the Boston Harbor. And this is when we do our magical flashback video, which I wish I had. Exactly. That we are going to go back to
rippling water effects go over the screen.
Exactly. We're going to go back to that fateful day 1 year ago. And 1 year ago, we'll come back to a morning in Providence that is a lot different than today. There's a slight chill in the air, but it's bright and sunny. We are at the landing for the ferry that runs on a regular basis from Providence, Rhode Island to Boston, Massachusetts. The ship's name is the Morning Star. Some of the characters have been on the ferry before. Maybe some of them take it on a regular basis. Who might who might use it on a regular basis? I know there's some folks who live in Boston, and I think there's some people who take it to Providence.
I'd say I'd probably use it on a somewhat frequent basis.
Okay. All right, so we've got at least one person who's probably taking it on a regular basis. The camera pans in first to our first character, and she is walking up to the to the landing, to the gangplank, to take her over to the ship. Her name is, and I'm probably going to butcher it, Loretta Lacard. I say that?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Why don't you give us an idea what Loretta looks like?
Loretta looks like a somewhat proper woman. She has trousers and tight-fitting boots on, more suitable for doing field work rather than going to a play.
Scandalous.
White blouse, a vest, and she has a tool belt with all of her archaeology supplies.
Okay.
And her hair is in a bun.
Okay. And sounds like she's going back to Boston. She goes to school there?
Yeah, she's part of the archaeology department in Boston University.
Okay. And where was she most recently?
She was studying a temple in the Amazon in Brazil.
Find anything interesting when she was there?
A lamp. That was pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Didn't catch any those nasty jungle diseases that those countries are known to have back in that day?
Nope, she was pretty lucky.
All right. So she pays her hello, regular sized mom. Good to see you. She pays her passage onto the ferry, and one of the attendants takes her elbow to, may I help you on board, ma'am?
If you don't mind, thank you.
Okay. He takes your bag, kind of takes you onto the ship. The next person who walks up is
Talking over there?
We can hear you. Hello.
Hey.
And that's actually perfect timing, because I was going to have Vala be ready to come on board. So the next person who's walking up is ready to pay her passage and get on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what she looks like? Vala, are you still there? Oh no.
God, had her for all of 2 seconds.
Okay, well, we're going to leave her till last.
Oh,
Hello?
I hear some.
there
Hello?
we
Hello?
go.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Oh my God, thank God.
Okay.
You would not believe the ordeal for the past 30 minutes.
I'm starting to think this game is cursed.
Yes, and like I said, Vala is going to be the first one to lose sanity.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about her?
So she is a parapsychologist. She works at a museum currently, and she is on her way to a museum conference in Boston.
Okay. What does she look like?
She has red hair, green eyes, likes to be comfortable, also like Loretta, correct? Also like her, doesn't really go with the conventions for what is feminine in the time.
Scandalous.
I know. All
We
of
love
us.
we love a good scandal.
All right. Well, she pays her passage, and another gentleman picks up her bag and kind of puts his hand on her elbow. May I help you on board, ma'am?
Oh, no, thank you. I've got it.
Oh, okay. And he kind of pauses, like, I'm gonna have. Let's make our first roll of the evening.
Right off the bat.
You got it.
Sweet.
What would be interesting? Give me an appraise roll, please.
An appraise. And that's the 100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just click it on your character sheet. And,
Oh, that's
just roll
right.
it.
I forgot
Yep.
about that.
Yep.
Ha ha ha.
I think appraise
I-
is correct for this.
I don't have appraise.
Okay.
I have anthropology.
Let me, since it's the first one of the night.
I think you have a base of
Or
5 for
occult.
appraise.
You have a base of 5. You know what? Give me an intelligence roll instead.
Okay.
The more I think about this, might be more a little something different.
Wow. Great start.
Okay.
Told you,
Okay.
who's losing
Oh,
sanity first?
okay,
It's going to be this
critical-
girl.
critical failure.
I noticed nothing. I
Um,
just walked past him.
yeah, he was sort of hinting at that he maybe wanted a tip, even though for doing nothing. But you just kind of shoved past him, and he's just kind of like, oh, how rude. And she makes her way on board.
I mean, to be fair, I am kind of a behemoth, so
that is the other thing we want to remind folks is almost all our characters are gigantic people. I think is there anyone who is not? Because I know her size is like 61.
I'm
Oh no, it's bigger than that, isn't it?
I'm 80.
80. That's right. She is gigantic. So
Yes,
so
she's
yeah.
the-
So he
she's
was
the Amazon lady.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
am.
He was looking up at her when she just kind of shoved past him onto the ship. The next person who arrives is Algernon Blackwater. We've just had a description of him, but was his appearance any different 1 year ago?
I'd say 1 year ago he's a bit more put together, and I'd say he sort of like walks with a bit more confidence, whereas the 1 year later version of him sort of like is much more skittish when really going around anywhere. He seems to be on edge at any given moment, whereas right now he's much more carefree, I'd say.
Okay. Footloose and fancy free.
Yeah.
All right.
So
okay.
so other than looking a bit more put together, it's not like a huge physical difference. It's more of a like sort of like mental or emotional difference.
Okay. And he, I believe, is actually from Boston,
Yes.
but had been in Providence for a meeting. How'd it go?
Terrible. I was
Yeah?
swindled horribly, and I will never be speaking to that man ever again.
You're going to write a sternly worded letter, right?
Yes, I am going to slander his reputation.
We love slander here at the channel.
Well,
Okay.
actually, technically, if it's written, it's libel. So
It's
there we
libel,
go.
yeah. So, so I guess you could call him, but that would be.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will
Hello,
libel.
operator, give me.
I will libel his reputation.
You will libel his reputation. All right. He pays his passage, and a young gentleman offers to take his bag.
Yes, thank you, good sir.
Okay. He doesn't offer to take your elbow though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. No, I mean, unless you want him to, then that might involve a tip. So
No,
I'm
So
no such
he-
thing.
I'm the most uncouth one. I also have like a 15 in intelligence, so
Yes,
you know
yeah.
I'm a little unaware of social norms apparently.
Yeah, she actually comes stomping onto the ship, and yeah, that's when Loretta noticed this gigantic woman come stomping onto the ship. Boom. followed by a gentleman who, but you really can't see him until she's on board, because she was sort of blocking the view of the gangplank. Get on board. Finally, at last, we have one more passenger who's arrived, and that is Dr. Lawrence, and as I say it real slow, Professor Lawrence E. Leland. And let's get an idea what Dr. Leland looks like.
So he is a older gentleman dressed in a brown suit with a bow tie. His hair, he has a mustache and spectacles and hair that is kind of thinning. He is the the image you think of in your head of a somewhat respectable college professor. Absolutely that image, trying to portray that.
And he is on his way to Boston for what?
So he is returning from Boston, returning to Boston rather, from essentially a funding hunting expedition in Providence. I'd like to roll to see how well that went, if I may.
Yeah, you may. Let's see. What would that be? It's based on his business skills. I think that
would assume so.
That sounds like a credit rating roll to me.
Okay.
Oh. He has
8.
Yeah.
Extremely well.
Extremely well. Yeah, so far his meetings have gone well. And he got a lot of well, that sounds excellent. We'll definitely be in touch with you. I'm going to have my attorneys draw up the papers and send them to your people, and then we'll meet. And then 16 months later from then, after all the paperwork is done, we'll begin work. So, but he might have some income coming in soon, which is definitely what he's definitely needing. So he's got a little bit of pep in his step, as we say, and he's going to pay his passage to go. Another young man who's good. Good morning, sir. Can I take your bag for you?
Please, thank you.
All right. Takes a.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, and when he's finished, I'd like to give him a generous tip because I'm in a good mood.
Oh, how much?
I'm going to say, trying to remember how much money is at this, $10, which I think is below my.
$10 would be like an insane amount of tip this kid. So I mean, he'll take it. I mean, he'll be like,
okay,
he's gonna run home. Ma, we're having steaks tonight.
That's like $250.
Oh, okay, that's way more.
Yeah, he's
than a
to
couple
him,
bucks.
a quarter is probably a good tip.
Okay, then I'll give him $1. He'll be happy.
He's like.
Sorry, how old is this?
Probably
is this,
15.
Kid who's taking my bells?
Yeah, probably like 15.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll give him $1 and ask him about how he sees himself academically.
Well, sir, I'm pretty good at history. I'm not very good at math, but my dad says that I got enough horse sense to maybe make a living, maybe as like a baggage handler on maybe one of the cruise line ships.
Well, my name is Professor Leland, and I teach at a university in Boston, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And
wow.
Yes, well, if you are ever interested in pursuing higher education, I'm attempting to support a fund for those who cannot afford a education, and please be in contact if you're ever so inclined to pursue a higher education, young man.
I would, sir, definitely. I don't even know what to say. No one in my family has even finished high school, so that would be swell. I don't even know if they said swell back then. So.
I'm sure they did.
That's a gas, maybe. So, okay. He just kind of quickly, well, whatever you need, if you need me to go get you a bottle of pop, I'll go get it for you.
Thank you very much. And your name, young man?
My name's Mortimer.
Very nice to meet you, Mortimer. And he'll extend his hand.
Oh, shakes it. His hand, he's all sweaty. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that, sir."
Don't worry about it, Mortimer.
Okay.
Have a good day.
You have a great day, sir. And he just runs away like I got $1. So, and Dr. Lawrence makes his way onto the ferry. It has really about 2 levels as you get on. It has kind of a central area with some benches along the sides. It's about an hour and a half journey up to Boston. When you get on, excuse me, Dr. Leland, or excuse me, Professor Leland, you see a couple other passengers are gathered. We have Algernon. We have Vala, and we have Loretta. And there's also a couple other people sitting there. There is an older man, has a cane, kind of white puffy hair, really kind of unkempt. He's kind of wearing a suit that's probably too thin to be wearing on a day like this. You would expect, maybe this time of year, maybe still wearing a wool suit, but he's got kind of this kind of thin, kind of linen suit. It looks a little worse for wear. And he is sitting on the bench. He's kind of muttering to himself a little bit. Sitting next to him is a young woman, and I might actually have a picture of her. And let's see if we can bring up a picture of her. Young woman with blonde hair. Well, you know what? We're going to come back to that. That's going to take too long. And she has, it's kind of sitting kind of a thin coat on, and she's knitting, and she's sitting next to the older guy, kind of muttering to himself, but kind of not paying a whole lot of attention to him. But right now it's the 6 of you in here. It doesn't seem like there's gonna be a lot of passengers. No one else gets on behind you, and within a few minutes they start preparing the ship to head out. So if anyone would like to meet their fellow passengers or talk, this is your time to be social.
Loretta's gonna be reading some notes in her journal.
Okay.
Vala's just kind of standing around awkwardly.
Okay.
Is there anywhere to get a stiff drink around here?
No, there is no bar. But there is. There's usually a girl who comes around selling cigarettes and sandwiches and things like that.
All right, I'll wait for the cigarette girl.
Okay. Okay.
The important question: does the ship pass through international waters?
It does not.
Okay.
It will just stay pretty much along the coastline and come into Boston Harbor. And so, no, there will be no gambling. There will be no firearms allowed, that kind of thing. Pretty much expecting a nice peaceable peaceable journey.
I was going to ask because you asked for a stiff drink.
Yes, I'm like, damn prohibition.
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think the
Stupid law-abiding citizens.
Okay.
I think the professor is going to look for a place to sit down.
Okay. Yeah, there's like I said, there's benches along the side. On the left-hand side is where the older man and the young woman are sitting. The other side, there's no one sitting there currently.
I think I'm gonna sit, not crowd him out. I think I'm gonna sit on the right hand side.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else going to do anything, or is everybody going to be antisocial?
I'm waiting for the cigarette girl.
Oh,
I already
excuse me.
told you I was being awkward.
Yes.
Remember, I'm a behemoth who doesn't know social norms.
That, you know what? That is true, and that might be an excellent time to check some things out. Then, Well, actually, I'm going to have you make a psychology roll, judging your other passengers.
Okay.
Kind of getting an idea what the social norms are of this new group you've joined.
21.
She succeeds. Yeah, you get the feeling that normal people are supposed to sit down, maybe have some social interaction. Talk about the weather. Maybe do the Red Sox have a chance this year? That normal stuff that people talk about, they really don't mean, but you're expected to make that kind of conversation.
Okay, because I'm kind of socially awkward, I'm going to go sit next to the lady reading.
Okay.
Like, she looks also antisocial. I'm going to talk to her. We'll be antisocial together.
The behemoth sits next to
Hundreds
you.
of other antisocials together.
I'm gonna look up from my book, and kind of be a little bit surprised at the Amazonian woman, but I'll think about it for a moment, and then I'll close my book. Hi, I'm Loretta Lacard. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Vala Siegel. Nice to meet you. What lovely weather we're having. Don't you agree?
It's all right for Boston. For wherever we are. I forgot. It's
You're
lovely
in
weather.
Providence, but it's
We're in Providence.
yeah,
Lovely
exactly.
weather for Providence.
Have you been here before?
A few times. I typically don't linger here too much. What about you?
I really only come in to Providence whenever there's a museum convention, but that happens very seldom. This might be my second time.
Yeah. What sort of museums are you interested in?
I work in natural history museums. Yeah.
Natural history is a pretty nice field. I'm in archaeology, so
I love archaeology. I love archaeology. It's one of the more exciting sciences.
You would think. Most of it's just sitting in a field, dusting things off.
Oh, I know. But you do get to find some really interesting artifacts.
That is true.
And we don't even know what all of them are, so there's always interesting stories behind them.
That is also true. We found a pretty interesting lamp on my last expedition. So,
did you try rubbing it?
I did not try rubbing it.
So someone did.
Someone
did. Tried summoning a genie. Good to know.
Yes.
You hear well, actually, the other two characters would hear the conversation that's going on. But Algernon hears the squeaky wheels of the cigarette cart and approaching. It sounds like it's behind him.
Okay, I will turn to eagerly await the cigarette girl
Okay.
approaching.
It's not a girl today. It's some big guy, kind of beady eyes, kind of a pencil thin mustache. It's kind of hunched over, pushing the cart. And you don't recognize him. You've taken this ferry a lot of times. You pretty much know the folks who work on the Morning Star, and he's just kind of pushing along. He's got a cart with cigarettes, sandwiches.
First day sport.
Huh. Hey, what can I get you?
Cigarettes, please, good man.
He's like, Lucky Strikes.
Indeed.
Okay. And it takes them out and just tosses them to you.
Okay, I will
I have
catch
no-
them.
I have no idea what cigarettes would cost back then. Outrageous for whatever. Just like today. So,
The professor would also like to stand up and walk over,
okay.
but he'll wait until the transaction is done before he says
Okay.
anything.
And
I hand over the
whatever.
the 10 cents or whatever.
15 cents.
Okay. Yep. And he just snatches it, throws it in his pocket. And he kind of looks, he's already looking past you.
So the professor will also ask for a packet of cigarettes and a bottle of soda pop.
Okay. He just hands you, I don't know, grape knee high. I always remember that from like MASH and stuff like that. Happy Days. I don't even know if it was available back then. We're going to say it was. So he just kind of shoves that at you.
We're gonna break time and space to make
Exactly.
it true.
I suppose I should have done my research, but and he hands you those items, and he's just kind of like puts his hand out, like he's got this big, huge hand, and like hairy arms. He's not quite as pretty as the usual cigarette girl.
Yes. After the new cigarette man starts walking away, I'm gonna sort of like lean over to Lawrence and just say, I don't like him nearly as much.
Lawrence will ask Aldron if he has a light.
I will pull out a lighter and I will light his cigarette, and then I'll light my cigarette.
The guy just kind of stomps away. The ship is getting ready to move, and you see when you're just kind of looking around, you see a couple guys are taking off the ropes and starting to put those away. And again, Algernon, you don't recognize these guys. Usually it's usually some younger guys, kids, or late teenagers. These look like men, like maybe mid-20s, and they're moving around doing the work, but you're just like, it's almost like when you go to your favorite restaurant, you're like, hey, Charlene's not working today. You have taken this enough that you generally know who the crew is, and none of these seem to be the same people. I mean, it's not a holiday. It's not, anything like that. But
All right. He'll be sure to make a mental note of that.
okay. And one of the guys who's putting away the ropes says, "Everybody have a seat. We're moving soon."
Lawrence will gesture to the bench and then sit down, inviting Aldrin to come sit with him.
Yeah, I will go sit with Lawrence.
Okay. All right.
And Loretta and I are already seating.
Okay.
So.
And the ship kind of moves out of the off the dock and begins its passage out into the and along the coast. Another thing you're used to hearing on board is music. They usually play some music. There's no music this morning. Um, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, people really enjoy taking this ferry.
I'm used to that
Um,
killer jazz, and I'm not getting
exactly,
it, and I'm
exactly.
upset.
You're not getting that. Um,
I'm quietly upset. I'm not one of those outward projecting people.
the older man looks up from his. He was just kind of looking down at his feet, and he kind of looks at the professor for a moment. It's kind of giving him this fierce stare for a second.
Is it unsettling in any way, or is it just strange?
You know what? Give me a psychology roll to see how you interpret it.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
8 again, and I
Yeah,
did believe that's extreme.
that is extreme. Um, yeah, you do not sense any kind of aggression from him, but if anything, now that you're really looking at him, you recognize him. Um, his name is Professor Beauregard, Professor Constantine Beauregard. And
What a name.
yep. You got to see what names come up on these random name generators I use. So you recognize Dr. Beauregard, and in fact, he's a lecturer from Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts. He kind of makes the academic rounds, um, and I'd actually like to have Vala make a make a psychology roll too, because he's now starting to kind of look around at everybody.
22.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you get the same feeling like he's not. You're like, this is just an old man, but then you're like, you know what though? Is that Dr. Beauregard? He's kind of known in the academics world, bit of a quack at times, but I think I recognize him. The other characters do not recognize this old man as his gaze kind of goes on each of you.
So since I recognize him, am I watching him?
If you choose to keep looking at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching them because I'm sure Loretta wants to go back to her book.
Okay. Okay. How about
Lawrence is going to get up and walk over to the older man and say,
okay,
Professor Beauregard, is that you?
And he's like, I thought I recognized you. Young Lawrence, isn't it?
Yes, Professor. I hope you liked my dissertation.
It was excellent. It was quite excellent. I would have changed a thing or here or there myself, but no matter. What brings you here? I haven't seen you in years.
Well, Professor, you and my other teachers inspired me to take up the cause after you. So, of course, I am engaged in the long tradition of hunting for funding, of course.
Ah, yes. Men of science and as ourselves, we can't just be left to do our work. There's always the pesky business of finding money for everything. Aren't there people to do these things for us that not to bother us?
One would think.
So I am actually heading back to Massachusetts myself. I have a class I'm going to teach at Miskatonic. I'll be staying with my sister. She lives in Arkham as well.
It's been a while since I've been back to Arkham, Professor. I'm teaching out of Boston now myself.
Ah, you're still at the Institute of Technology.
I am.
Ah, a fine place, a fine place. Oh, I am being rude. Allow me to introduce my young prodigy who has been traveling with me. And he kind of gestures over to her, and she kind of looks up from her knitting. She's like, "Oh, excuse me. Hi, my name is Beulah. Beulah Sidebottom."
A pleasure, Miss Sidebottom.
And she just
An
Also, what a
absolute
name.
pleasure. And yes,
and she
1920s.
and she never wonders. She always wonders why people laugh at her name. So she just kind of puts out her hand. She's like, a pleasure to meet you. I'm I'm actually a nurse by trade, but the professor is doing his best to allow me to attend medical school. My dream is to become an MD.
A difficult pursuit, miss, but a rewarding one, as is
And
all
the,
learning.
and the professor is like, I don't think anything should be standing in the way of a smart woman, not any of the silly laws that this country has. Beulah, if I have my way, and then goes into this long coughing jag, you'll become a doctor in no time. Then he kind of gets up and he kind of does that stare that old people do, that they don't. It's almost like little kids, like they know they're not supposed to stare, but they do anyway.
Don't strain
So-
yourself, old timer. You're gonna keel over at this rate.
Ah, the cheek on this one. Why, when I was your age, I had respect for my elders. long coughing jag and two.
I just take a long drag from my cigarette.
He's like, you know those things will kill you.
Sounds like you have first-hand experience with how much you're hacking up a lung.
Lawrence will bend over behind the professor's
Mhm.
back and say to Bella, Beulah,
Beulah.
Beulah. It is indeed a shame, this habit of ours of locking away knowledge in my own field. Our, honored Sir Isaac Newton purposely wrote his Magnum Otis in Latin to keep the knowledge hidden away from people. Shameful.
She's like, if I have my way, that I'll maybe even become a teacher at some point later. But she's like, that's going to be a long time, and I have a long road ahead of me. And she seems rather shy, and she kind of goes back to her knitting. So you sense that Professor Beauchard could go on and on and on and on and talk. Does Lawrence want to stay and continue chatting with him, or is he going to do something else?
I think he's going to stay for at least a few moments to be
Okay.
respectful to his old mentor, because he remembers how much this guy likes to talk.
Okay. Okay. Vala, you see, now the ship's kind of underway, you see someone kind of walk. The way this room is set up is you have the benches on either side, and then if you walk straight through, you can get to the front of the ship. There is a staircase that leads upstairs to kind of like an observation deck, and then to the cabin. You see someone walk down the stairs, or they appear from the stairs, and it almost looks like probably you would think is probably the captain. He's kind of an older man, kind of a white beard, and he comes down and kind of glances into the room, or where the benches are, and he's kind of looking at everybody, and then he just kind of turns around and kind of goes out towards the front of the ship. You see him light up a cigarette, and just kind of lean against the railing.
Do I recognize the captain? Like the normal captain? Or is this also a different person?
No, you do not recognize him either. Usually the captain is, or the captain you've seen is probably about the same age. He's kind of a heavy set guy with no beard. So this guy definitely is a different captain.
I would like to go follow him.
Okay.
Go hang
Okay.
out with him and maybe have a smoke from him.
Okay. Alrighty. So we lost someone. Okay. So you go out and he's kind of leaning against the railing, kind of straightens up when he sees you.
Hello, sir.
Morning.
Do you have a cigarette that I could have?
Kind of reaches into his pocket and offers the pack to you.
I take one.
Okay.
Do you have a light as well?
Yep. Shrugs and just kind of smiles at you. Give me a actually, no, I'm not going to make you roll on this one. His smile is unsettling. You kind of see his teeth are a little, even for the 1920s, his teeth are a little messed up. Let's put it that way.
Well, I have enough sense to not mention that to him. So I'm just going to do like some chit chat with him. Are you
Okay.
the captain?
Yeah.
How long have you been the captain of this vessel?
Couple of years now.
Do you enjoy what you do?
Kind of shrugs. He's like, it's kind of a shit route, back and forth, but what are you going to do?
I guess that's fair.
But I think...
Is there... Oh, go ahead.
He's like, but I think today the winds are going to favor us.
Why do you say that?
Bit of a amateur astronomer myself. Follow the stars, follow the patterns. I think today is going to be a really successful voyage for us.
Oh, well, I always hope for successful voyages, especially after that Titanic, you know.
He's like, yeah. You know, you kind of wonder, was that fate? Was that ship doomed to go down?
Why would you think it was?
I don't know. Could you give me an education roll, please? Okay.
35.
You're a smart enough person to know that generally naval people are superstitious about the sea, and casually dismissing something like the Titanic going down as just fate strikes you as odd. Like, wouldn't you be superstitious enough to be like, I'm not gonna talk about something bad happening to a ship because something bad might happen to my ship. So it just strikes you, his flippant attitude just strikes you as odd.
Mm-hmm. Since he's kind of creeping me out a little, I think I will retire to where everyone else is.
Okay.
Thank you for the cigarette, good sir.
Of course. You feel his eyes on you as you walk back.
Well, I mean, I am really tall. I'm used to that.
You are hard to miss.
I'm gonna say, as soon as she makes her way back, I'm
Mhm.
going to stand up and walk over to her with a confidence, probably a bit off-putting for her being socially awkward, but um, and he's just going to walk up and say, "So what's your opinion on the new captain? Never seen him before."
Oh, I didn't realize he was new. He said he's been captaining this ship for years.
And I'll sort of like glance over where the captain had walked to,
Mhm.
and then I'll just like look back to Vala and just say, "Well, that's a farce if ever I heard one. That's not the captain that's normally captaining this ship.
You come on this ship often then?
I'm a fairly frequent passenger, yes."
I see. Why would he lie about that?
"Your guess is as good as mine." Sounds nefarious, doesn't it?
It does.
What was it? What was
I'm
his?
sorry, I'm Vala. I'm Vala.
Oh,
And I
Algernon.
reach my hand out to shake his.
Algernon Blackwater, a pleasure to meet you, and I will take her hand, which probably dwarfs mine in comparison.
Probably.
Start to
think
get
it-
creepy, and we add the creepy music. So
I love it.
I think at this point, Lawrence will determine that he's had enough of his old mentor lecturing him and escape to.
did I tell you about the work they're doing at the University of Kansas?
Just like, yes, this is the third time you've told me.
Yes,
Third time you've told me tonight.
yeah.
Oh,
And also, they finished that 10 years ago.
did they? Huh.
Yeah, I think he's going to identify Loretta with a book more interesting than his old professor. He's been around long enough to be respectful. He's going to try and escape over to her company now.
Okay.
Save me, save me.
Loretta's gonna once again look up from her book, think for a moment, and then close her book. Hi. Seems like you were having a pretty interesting conversation with a fellow over there.
Yes, old professors. Unfortunately, we never run out of learn how to stop talking. Apparently,
Yeah, I've run into a few like that. I'm Loretta. It's nice. Loretta Lacard. It's nice to meet you.
Lawrence Leland, also LL. Nice. The pleasure is all mine, madam.
So, you said he was your old professor? What
Hey,
what
if I may
area
ask.
of study is that? Go on. Did my audio cut out?
Nope,
No, I hear you.
No, we hear you.
Okay.
You're still there.
Yeah, Loretta's gonna ask Lawrence what area of study he's in, if that was one of his old professors.
I'm a physicist. I used to be more on the more esoteric branch of the science, and I've recently, after the Great War, decided to be more productive with my time.
Ah.
Yes.
I don't know too much about physics. Yeah, I can't even say it. That particular field of study. I'm in archaeology myself.
Ah, studying the past, I see, and
Yeah,
the
there's-
artifacts and of old and ancient cultures.
Yeah, there's always things to be learned from the past.
Indeed. The Babylonians had some fascinating mathematics.
That is true. I haven't had the chance to go over to Babylonian yet. Maybe
Yes.
someday.
Yes, as an undergraduate, I had some classes with an archaeologist, and did some work proofreading some translations. Very interesting. Very interesting. Their knowledge of the stars was unparalleled.
Yes, many ancient cultures had rather interesting knowledge of the stars.
May I ask
Cap-
what your
Oh.
specialty in archaeology is?
Make an archaeology roll.
Sorry.
On the spot.
Think that far ahead.
Yep.
She could be a fraud. Oh, she might be a fraud.
This is all a farce.
You failed badly. She kind of just stumbles for, and you're probably like, I like it all.
I'm very new in my in-field studies.
Oh,
I haven't decided on a focus yet.
You don't.
don't worry, it will come in time. And you can always change later. I did after 20 years in my field. People thought I was crazy, but things happen and things change.
In the meantime, the captain has flicked a cigarette butt over the side, and kind of paces back to the stairs. And he's just kind of looking back into the room at everyone, and just kind of slowly walks back up the stairs to the bridge. I said the cabin earlier. I meant the bridge. So.
Yep, and sort of just watch him walk upstairs, and I'll turn back to Ms. Siegel and just say, ominous, isn't it?
He does seem very odd, yes.
What did you talk about? What exactly did he say? Was he talkative? Was he not talkative?
He was talkative if I asked a question. He said that he was an amateur astronomer of sorts. And he was saying that we would have a very successful voyage. But you know, it's odd. I said that I would prefer a successful voyage over something like the Titanic, and he didn't seem to care too much about that. He just kind of brushed me off.
That's a bit odd for sea folk. The last captain would talk his ear off about such things.
I thought it was odd as well. And isn't this a fairly normal route for this ferry to take?
Indeed, they take this route very often.
So why would it not be successful?
That is an excellent question that I do not rightly have an answer to, provided that there aren't any new obstacles that would be there for seemingly no discernible reason.
I'm sorry. I didn't really get a chance to hear earlier. I saw you were speaking with a gentleman. What did you say your occupation was?
Oh, I run a bookstore, but I am rather interested in all things of a rather occult nature.
I am as well. Are you always trying to find the logic behind it as well?
I would not say that. I'm more interested in the mystery and phenomenon of it all rather than hard evidence per se. I'm not exactly running tests to give it credibility.
You don't think it should have credibility?
I don't think it necessarily needs credibility, but I'm not against it having credibility.
I see.
I take it you
Volthra is
are...
finally back. Sorry, go ahead.
I take it you are of a somewhat more logical persuasion when it comes to the occult, then.
Definitely, I do believe everything has a logical explanation. And sometimes we just haven't learned what that explanation is yet.
Interesting. We should have a more in-depth conversation at a later time.
We should. Does this fairy offer dinner?
Does it offer dinner?
It does not.
Okay.
It only.
Well, then I guess we can't have a dinner date. Not tonight, anyways.
Another time, back in the city.
The Professor Beauregard kind of stands up slowly and kind of turns around, is kind of stretching.
This man's going to break in half at the sudden movements.
And
I feel like he is, but that is a very well-renowned professor, so be respectful.
Beulah takes his arm. And they kind of start walking off to the port side. And if anybody's paying attention to the old man, is anyone paying attention to the old man?
I think.
Well, Algernon mentioned him, so I think him and I are watching him now.
You give me a listen roll, please, because there is the sound of the engines and the water. So I want to see if you can hear what he says.
I don't have that one listed.
1 minute. I just gotta add it real quick because I know the default is 25. So
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So I just gotta add that, and I can make a roll for it.
Let me see if I can add that then.
Can Lawrence make the roll?
25.
Yeah, you can roll as well.
You said the default is 25?
Right.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Anyone who wants to make the listen roll can. Okay, so I got a 25. Okay, you did not make it. Oof. Nope.
Absolutely not.
Nope. What did he say? Okay. Loretta. Okay.
I did not make it either.
So Loretta just happened to be looking up from her book. We'll say everyone else was just kind of chatting, but she wasn't talking. And you hear the professor say, well, I would say that we've changed course slightly, because normally by now we would be seeing the houses of what was that man's name? The painter. I can't think of the name, but normally the coastline is visible, and I would say that we've changed course. And Beulah's like, well, yeah, I guess, yeah. Normally we're sticking a little bit closer to the coast. Are we maybe heading east?
I'm gonna grow concerned, because I think I've only taken this ferry like maybe once, maybe twice.
And you would know it's generally going north, and would generally ferries don't generally go out to sea. They tend to be just kind of near the coast. But they seem to think that maybe the ship has changed course.
Would I have a compass on me?
Let's have you make a luck roll. What you're going to do is, if you minimize your sheet, you should have luck, and you can click on that to see. Why, sure you do. You have a compass on you.
All right, I'm going to check the compass.
Okay. Yeah, and it seems like you're starting to head east as opposed to, say, northeast.
I'm going to point this out to Professor Lawrence.
Okay.
Have you taken the ship before?
He has.
It seems like we might be not going in the right direction.
Perhaps we could ask the captain about it?
Perhaps. I didn't see who the captain was.
Well, normally, a ship would be in operation. In my experience, a captain would be at the wheel or in the bridge,
That would make sense. It would make sense.
and if not the captain, then there's certainly an officer there.
Is there any crew members around?
Yeah. One of the deckhands who had been untying the ferry. You see him kind of walking by, kind of on the outside deck along the railing.
I'm going to flag him down.
Okay, and he's another big burly guy. He's kind of like, yeah.
Sorry to disturb you. I just couldn't help noticing. Are we heading in a different direction than normal?
He's like, no. And if you would like, you could, if you'd like to roll to see what he is, what is he up to, or the way he asked you. I think that would be probably another psychology roll, I think, to kind of get a feel from his body language. He's a brusque, uneducated, uncouth person, but the way he said no, you get the feeling he's not being dishonest.
I'm going to thank him for his time and make a mental note to just be more aware of what's happening.
Okay. Professor, anything you want to...
Yeah. Can I look around and see if Mortimer is anywhere?
No, Mortimer would have been back on the dock.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. He just stayed there. So, now I'm gonna say that Beulah then kind of takes the professor back in, and kind of has him sit down, and I still think we're not going in the right direction. I cannot believe they would have a different route. There's a standard route that this ferry should take to the northeast, and I think something is incorrect. And everyone now hears him muttering this.
Mr. Blackwater, what do you think he means that we're going a different direction?
And if you guys now looked off the port side, now you do not see the coastline.
Yes, I was going to ask about that. That's exactly what I was going to ask about.
Because as soon as you heard that, you probably would have gone, what? So, yeah.
Yep. So I take it. So I'll sort of look out the port side and say, we are certainly not going the correct direction indeed. And I'm gonna stand up and just say, I'm gonna go have a word with the captain about this. And I will
think we all should.
And I will start heading
and
up towards the bridge.
I'll follow him.
Okay, so you two are going. Anyone else?
Sure, I'll follow.
Okay, 3. What is Loretta doing? Is she gonna stay by herself, or is she gonna stay with the professor?
I'm going to stay with the professor.
Okay. So the 3 of you are gonna stay down there. The other 3, okay. You guys start making for the stairs to take you up. And it's kind of like an observation deck. And when you get up top, you see another burly-looking guy, kind of just mopping the deck, kind of just doing circles around one spot. And ahead of you would be the bridge. You can see kind of a door for the bridge. But now you're up on the deck, and now you definitely have a view of looking around. You don't see land anywhere.
Do we see
Um,
the captain?
No.
The
The only
gen-
person you see right now is the guy swabbing the deck. So
the guy swabbing the deck. Does he
Mhm.
look like he's like wasting time, or does he look like
no,
he's
no, he's working. He
Okay.
kind of gives you guys kind of a scowl when you come up, and he's like, "Deck's closed. You gotta go back down."
okay?
We're looking for the captain, good man.
He's busy.
With what? Steering us in the wrong direction?
Speaking of, is there like a wheelhouse that we can see?
Yeah,
Or-
that would be the bridge. That would
Okay.
be like, yeah. He's like, you gotta go down below.
Now point us to the captain, and we'll be out of your hair.
Hey, I ain't gonna tell you twice. Go sit down. We ain't letting people up here.
About like how far away is this guy from us?
Probably about like 10 feet.
Okay. Let's try this, I guess. I'm going to sort of like reach into my pocket
Mm-hmm.
and pull out this sort of like timepiece,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to click it, and you just sort of like slowly hear the second hand just start ticking, and it almost seems to get like louder and louder, and I'm just going to say, yeah, it's very important that we talk to the captain, and you know that it's in your best interest for us to go and speak with him right now, and I'm gonna try to hypnotize him.
Okay. Remind me, is that a skill, or is that something you're using psychology for?
It is a skill. I
Skill?
am using the hypnosis skill.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hypnosis. Let's see how this goes. Nope, absolutely not.
He's like, I don't know what you're doing, but you got. And he like kind of like points the mop at you now. He's like, I told you, get downstairs. No passengers up here.
Can I try to charm him?
Sure.
Say, noticing that it doesn't work, I will sort of like stop the timepiece from moving, and I'll just put it back.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. We really need to speak to the captain. We've noticed we're not going in the right direction. We need to make sure that everything's all right with him. And I'm going to roll my charm, which is also not successful.
And he's like, listen, lady, I told you. Now he holds out the mop again. Okay. I want to have anybody who's up there. Can you give me a spot hidden roll, please?
Okay.
What is
Yes, we
the
can.
base for
Spot hidden, I believe this is 25. is the
25.
base.
25? Let me add that real quick then.
Okay, so we got.
Ooh, annoying.
No.
Very big.
Now, Professor Leland. Let's see what. No.
No.
Okay. Professor Leland, you are 3 away.
I'm like, one of us
from
isn't
this.
blind, so that's something at
Yeah.
least.
You missed it by 3. You can spend luck if you would like to. You would spend 3 luck points to. Oh no, excuse me. You did succeed anyway. I read it wrong. Sorry. You succeeded anyway. You notice on.
I succeeded by 3.
Yeah, I read it wrong. Sorry. You notice on his sleeve.
Yeah.
He's kind of wearing like a white. They kind of wear white uniforms. On his sleeve, you see little tiny specks of red on the sleeve. Like splatter on on his shirt sleeve.
So would it be something like blood splatter?
You'd probably have to get closer, but at a quick glance, you're like, that's odd. I don't see them doing any red painting on this ship.
The ship is
I'd
blue.
like
What's up with
to-
that?
Yeah, I'd like to rush over to him and say, "Are you hurt? It looks like something I saw in the Great War. Are you hurt, sir? Can I help you?"
And he kind of takes a step back from me. He kind of puts out his broom or his mop in kind of like a defensive posture. And he's like, "No, I'm all right. I'm all right." And then as you get closer, yeah, you definitely see it. It's like bigger splatter than you had noticed. And he's kind of looking between you, and he's like, he wants to say something aggressive, and he's like, you guys gotta go back downstairs. No passengers up here.
Gentlemen, maybe we should listen to the nice man, and maybe we should go back.
Was he glancing in any particular direction, or
He's just like
He's
basically
just
watching
moving his
like
head.
all of you, just
Okay.
like who's coming at me next. So
okay?
We're making the man very uncomfortable. Maybe we should.
Yes.
Maybe we should depart.
that's
I'm gonna back up. I'm
okay.
going to.
He's like, watch the floor, it's wet.
Thank you. I'll take precautions.
Do that.
And
Okay, he's watching everybody.
I'm going to go back to the others.
Okay. He puts his mop in the bucket again, and so he's like,
Starts mopping the same spot.
but
Okay.
watching you guys now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like reach out to both of the gentlemen that are currently near me, put my hands on their backs, and be like, "Come on, guys, let's go back to where everyone else is. We'll
Very
figure out another
well,
way to
Ms.
find the
Deagle.
captain."
We should at least inform the others, I suppose.
I'm gonna go downstairs. Is there any? No. Okay. Never mind. I'm just gonna comply and go downstairs and try and think of something.
And and Professor Barshard sees you guys. He's like, "Did you find out anything up there? Talk to the first mate or whoever."
We
We found
We were
someone.
prevented.
We spoke with a very unhelpful custodian.
I find people in the custodial arts to be sometimes very friendly people. Sometimes they are overlooked for their role in the organization. And he kind of starts to ramble on about class struggles and.
I immediately start just blocking him out.
Okay.
Mr. Blackwater,
Yes, Ms. Siegel.
you have been on this ship before multiple times, correct?
I have indeed, yes.
Do you know of any other passages that might get us to where a captain might be? Maybe the captain's quarters? Maybe the wheelhouse?
Do I know any other places where I could possibly find the captain?
Well, any passages to...
Yes.
Like, any other routes to find him?
Yes. Keeper of arcane lore. Do I know shit?
Yeah, I would say. Why don't you make an intelligence roll
Okay.
based on your time on here? Kind of see what you remember about this ship.
Okay. Do I get any modifiers for knowing that sort of thing?
Yes, I'm actually going to give you a bonus die for that. So that's where you're going to, when you make
Cool,
your
cool.
roll.
+1.
Yeah. So then
Roll.
it's essentially like an advantage.
All right.
Yes. Okay. You recall that if you left to this area and headed towards the back of the ship, which I think is the stern, if I remember right, that there is a staircase that leads down to a lower deck.
All right. Cool.
Now,
cool.
you have not been down there before, but it leads to a lower deck that perhaps might lead somewhere else.
Okay. I will relay that information to the others in that case.
Okay.
Oh, well, we didn't see the captain go downstairs, so. But that is good to know. Thank you.
During all of this, Loretta would have closed her book and gone to see what's up.
A satisfying
what
story.
book is can I like look over and see what book Loretta is
Yeah,
reading?
give me a spot hidden.
Okay. Spot
As you try not to be too obvious that you're.
Nope.
Nope.
Can't make it out. Cannot quite make out the binding of the book to see what it is.
You saw the.
Oh, Loretta, you were going
What
to say
ma-
something. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to come see if you guys were saying, if you figured anything out about the change of course.
Well, we are still currently going to try and track down the captain because all we were met with was an unhelpful custodian who very much wanted us to leave the bridge.
The deckhand I spoke to is unhelpful as well.
Yes,
And
this new crew is quite frankly atrocious, and I dislike them immensely.
and I find it very odd that there's no officer on the deck. What material is the outer hull made out of? Is it like metal or wood?
Probably mostly metal, but with some wood.
Never mind. That's going to be probably out of the realm of possibility. Okay.
Are there any other entrances and exits where we currently are?
The only one the only way is up to the
Just
second
to
deck.
the room itself.
Oh, it's really kind of like an open air area. So there's really there's like some side walls where the benches are, and like kind of on the other side. So it's like almost like an open area in the middle of the deck. So yeah.
So could we presumably climb on the outside of the ship?
Well, I mean, there's two staircases on either side of the area you are. But what you would, so you can either take those stairs up to get outside and try to climb would mean you would have to be hanging off the side of the ship, possibly not being spotted by the custodian. So I mean, you're welcome to try it, but those. The stairs would obviously be the better choice to go upstairs.
Then Dagon just reaches up out of the sea and just drags us down.
We tried going up. Should we try going down?
I think that is a good plan.
Okay.
I have no other ideas, so let's go for it.
Okay. So the four of you going to the stairs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You step out. When you get over to the staircase, you find that there is a chain across the landing. Like it, like basically like saying like this, this staircase is closed.
Yep. Is it the kind where you can like literally just like unhook it? Okay,
yes.
then
I was going to ask that too.
I'm just gonna do that.
Yes.
I'm going to go right with him.
Okay. All right.
I think in your case, Val, you can just step over it.
I probably could. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to walk right over it, look at him while he's unclipping it, and be like, "Why do you need to do that?" Oh, I forgot you're short.
I am not short. It is merely the more practical decision to make.
Okay. Yeah, you unhook the chain, and the staircase leads down into the ship. Kind of glancing down, there's some faint light kind of coming from the distance. This staircase would be towards the back of the ship. I mean, the ferry's not huge, so this looks like this leads down into the stern. Probably, potentially, maybe
dark?
towards like an engine room. There's a faint light that you can see. I mean,
But that's the only light that we see.
Yeah. I mean, it's the middle of the day, so it's bright out.
Oh, okay.
But when you come into when you look down in the staircase, you do see faint light from. You would presume maybe like an engine room or something like that. So.
Do I see
Okay.
any exterior portion of a rudder or something that looks like a rudder control?
Not down here, no.
Okay.
No, but you guys are really at the. Have you walked down the stairs, or are you?
I thought we walked down.
Yes,
Oh,
I was
we're
under.
still at the top. Okay, I thought
that's fine. Okay,
I thought we walked down.
and that's
Never
fine.
mind.
That's why I just want to make sure. So when you guys come down, yeah, you're in. You see like an engine room ahead of you. It's obviously not as clean and friendly looking as up above. When you come down, if you took a left, there is a hallway that looks like that leads towards the front of the ship. There is kind of there's one light bulb in like the hallway with a couple little like storage rooms on along the hallway. If you look back, then that's where like say the engine room would be. So you've really kind of got two choices: either go left or to the right.
Well, what do you gentlemen think? Do you think maybe we can find the captain if we go towards the front of the ship again? Or do you think he snuck around us and went into the engine room?
The last time you saw the captain, he was going up. So,
Yeah.
okay,
And that's why I said,
just
do
making sure.
they think that he snuck around us?
Okay. Okay.
My experience is mostly with military captains, but in my experience, they don't like getting down and dirty.
A shame. I would say let's investigate the engine before progressing closer towards the front of the ship.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. There is you hear it is very loud down here. There is there's a wall separating the engine room from where you are with a kind of an old door on it. The door would open out. So
Okay, so it'd like swing open towards us.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to try the door. Does it just open?
It does.
I'm going to take a look inside. I'm just
Okay.
going to like peek my head through.
Okay. Give me a spot hidden, please.
All right. No.
Oof. Okay.
No.
You see a large engine that is chugging away. Based on your expert opinion, it looks like an engine and it's running, and you don't really know anything else about it. And it's a dark room. There's no lights on in here, so I mean the only light you would have is maybe from behind you, kind of shining into the room.
So I'm going to back up and look at them. You know, honestly, I don't know anything about ships or engines. Do one of you want to take a look?
I can.
I'll take a look as well.
Okay.
I will
So
step out
I'm
of
gonna
their
move
way.
out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna move out of the way so anyone who wants to look can.
So I look in here. I'm trying to spot a any kind of rudder mechanism on the basis of if the captain is unhelpful as the custodians have been, perhaps I can essentially force us to change direction. Is
Okay.
my thought
Okay.
process there.
Let's see now. I'm going to have you make a mechanical repair roll to
All right.
see if you,
Ooh.
because I don't think we have like engineering. So yeah, we'll do mechanical repair to see if you can kind of spot that. And Loretta,
Will
I'm going
do.
to get to you in a second. So
Nope.
not that you know of.
It's the oversight.
Okay.
Like-
Loretta.
Nope.
Okay. I usually allow people to spend up to 10 points in luck. So if you would like to spend 8 points of luck to succeed at that, you may.
How does the spending of the luck points
What
go?
it is you're going to look at your luck level, and what it is you're going to have that number on the left is kind of like what you're starting off with. So say if you wanted to spend 8 points of luck, you would just subtract 8 from that total.
Okay. I'm probably
And-
not going to do that then.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. You look
How
good, you
often
don't-
does luck reset?
I believe it's at the end of the story. So we would have
Okay.
essentially this session and the next session are one story. So
Okay.
so after
So
episode
it resets
2,
the full.
you're correct. Yeah. And the most I let people spend is 10. So so Loretta, no, you don't notice anything in there?
Okay.
Anyone else?
I mean, I'll take a peek just because everyone else is doing it. So
All the cool kids are doing it. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right,
Okay.
yeah,
So
go
what is
ahead.
it? Spot hidden.
Spot hidden, please.
Okay. Roll. No.
No.
We're all
Okay.
blind.
It's a dirty engine room. Okay. Okay. Closing the door.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that was very unhelpful, wasn't it?
I agree.
Okay.
I guess we should try that other hallway then.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going down a narrow hallway lit by just a single light bulb. Who's going first?
Since I am the largest, I probably shouldn't go first because
was
I
gonna
might
say.
block the light.
That's what I was going to ask. Is you're going to have to duck to not hit the light bulb. So
I'll take
Lawrence
up
will
the
go first.
rear.
okay. All right, okay.
I'll follow Lawrence.
Okay.
I'll follow Aldrin.
Okay.
And then I'll be in
Okay.
the end.
I'd like
Well, one
everyone-
advantage: anyone trying to ambush us from behind will be blind, so that'll be nice.
I'd like everyone to make a listen roll, please.
Okay.
15. Nope.
Okay.
I have to find it.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Nope. We're all
Everybody-
deaf as well.
Okay. And it is hard because
We're deaf, dumb, and
because-
blind. Okay.
Yeah.
because of the sound of the engine. But yeah,
It's
you
a
guys-
miracle that we all make it out of this somehow.
You proceed down the hallway, and it comes to a almost like a T branch, in that there's going to be another hallway that kind of leads off to the right, or if you continue straight, you'll start heading towards the front of the ship. To the right, you think you spot maybe like a kitchen or something like that. You smell some sort of food cooking.
Does it smell
And-
good or does it smell bad?
Well, give me an appraise roll.
Oh shit. Okay. What's the default for that?
I
5.
believe it's a
Okay.
5.
Okay. Let me add that real quick and let me roll a fail. Okay. Unlock. Add. Appraisal. That's probably spelled incorrectly. Appraisal. Still probably
It's just appraise.
correctly.
APPRAISE.
Appraise.
All this just to
Okay,
fail.
well.
but-
Fix that then. Fix that. Yep, all this to fail. But by some chance, I could roll
It's-
like a 4 or something.
We could, yeah.
Okay,
You're due one because
lock.
you've been rolling crappy all night. So
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Appraise. Fail me. Roll like a 95 or something.
no.
39.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, everybody else, yeah, you do catch a whiff coming from that direction. But yeah, you can roll an appraise roll if you'd like to see what's cooking. Or okay. Oh, okay, Loretta. Okay. Nope. Nope. Okay, Loretta. It smells like
Nope.
cabbage, but if it was cooked in swamp water.
Mm.
Tasty.
I'm going to make a face.
It's at a delicacy
yeah, you're
of
like,
any culture
like,
that you know of.
yeah, like you guys see her make a face like, ugh.
Well, I'm behind her, so I wouldn't see that.
You would not, no, correct.
I don't know what they're cooking, but it smells horrible.
Okay.
Then we should be glad they don't serve meals on this ship.
Agreed. For once, I feel that.
You
in
guys,
my
you guys know
being.
cabbages, right? It's cabbages, but made in swamp water. Basically,
Oh,
that's what it
lovely.
smells like.
And now everyone else goes, oh God! Now that she's put that image in your head, now you're
Now
like,
we all smell it.
"Oh."
Just
Yeah,
that's exactly what it smells like now that you say it.
Okay. So your choices are: you can go that direction, or you can continue straight.
I don't know that we want to go near swamp
No.
water cabbage.
Yes, I was gonna say the curious part of Algernon wants to, but also that's so not a priority at the moment. So.
No. Let's go straight. Let's continue walking straight.
Okay.
Privately, Lawrence thinks they're probably trying to ferment something, make some kind of alcohol down here. But
I'm
just
cu-
keeps walking.
I'm curious. Does anyone have what does people have in stealth?
Oh God, not
Nothing.
anything. Default.
I would say
I'm just
yeah, I would
curious
say
to know what
probably
people
the
have.
default.
Okay.
Yeah,
20?
20. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay.
That's the default?
yeah, 20 is the
Yeah.
default.
I'm not asking for a roll. I just wanted to see what people had.
Well,
okay.
that's it. Well, thanks, Tom, because that's a cue to add it to my card now. So
Probably couldn't hurt. So,
You said the default was 20 for that, not
Yeah.
25?
yeah,
Yep.
20.
20.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Added.
If you continue forward, there is another room off to the right on the hallway. I'd like another listen roll, please.
Okay.
No.
I got
Abs-
24? No.
Absolutely not.
Wait, what did I get?
Okay, Loretta passed, and
I
Professor
thought I
Leland
did, but
passed.
I guess I didn't.
Yep. No, I don't. No, you rolled. You got a 24, so you succeeded.
Woo!
The professor succeeded, and Loretta succeeded.
I have
and-
like fucking
and you-
damage to my eardrums or something.
Okay. Oh Jesus, yeah.
It's too much jazz, young man. Too much jazz you've been listening to.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys hear a thump come from that room. Like as you're starting, you hear this loud thump.
Did you guys hear that too?
What?
Yeah.
I heard a thump coming from that room over there.
Did it
I
sound
don't know
like
what
an
you're
impact?
saying.
I'm half tempted to give him a condition, but no, I won't do it.
Did
Yeah,
it sound
no,
like an
I heard that
impact?
too.
No, it was like a thump of something maybe moving in
Okay.
that door. You're not quite sure.
Should we
I
go
heard
check it
that
out?
too. I mean, it's better than swamp water cabbage, so.
Definitely.
All right. I will yield to the group, and I will open the door.
Okay, and it opens out. So
Okay.
actually,
will
no,
pull him.
I take that back. It opens in because it would open because the small hallway wouldn't work. So excuse me, the door opens in. Okay.
Okay. I will slowly push the door in like an inch and see if I can see anything.
Okay. Give me a spot hidden roll, please.
Okay. Watch me do horribly. Find it even. I failed my real life spot hidden roll too.
Okay. Okay. So you're just kind of sticking your head in.
Cracking the door like an inch
Okay.
and
Okay.
seeing
Yeah.
if I
Okay.
see anything.
You hear something like shuffle inside, like something like you hear another thump, and it sounds like something shuffling, like as it maybe like on the floor. You're not sure.
Mm.
Do they allow pets on this ferry? Maybe
No.
somebody's shipping a pet.
I do not believe they do.
I'm
that's
at a
when-
loss then.
And that's when you hear
Nope.
come from within the room.
I will
Old
open
man,
the door.
is that you?
I will open the door immediately,
Okay.
and see, it sounds like someone's in trouble. Open door, step in.
Okay. And that's when you feel a hand grab your ankle
From what direction?
from within the room. So when you go in the room, you feel this hand grab your ankle from inside the room. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Oh no!
I am
No.
grappled. I know.
We
I played enough D&D to know that this is not a good situation.
We begin the next session with Professor Lawrence just being like dragged into the room.
And
Like,
the door slams shut behind me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like fucking hits his head on the floor and gets pulled in, and the door seals behind him.
We will have to see. But we're at about our time limit. So that's actually a great spot to leave for tonight. So how do you guys feel so far? What do you think? How do you like the story?
I
Pretty
like
good.
it a lot.
So far.
Having a
Okay.
good time.
Good. Glad to hear it.
The
one
story
thing I
really grabbed me.
Ba-da-ba.
There you go. Okay. One thing I like to do at the end of each session is if anybody has any projects they're working on, anything they want to plug, you're welcome to do that. For instance, I always ask Aloysius what's going on, what's good in comics, things like that. If you don't have anything to plug, it's absolutely fine, but I like to just make sure everybody gets a little spotlight on themselves kind of at the end of the game. So since I already mentioned their name, I'm going to pick on Aloysius to start off with.
Oh boy. I don't really have anything offhand, but I'm going to Comic-Con tomorrow.
Yay.
So that's
Nice.
fun. Just immediately before this, I finished making fangs for my costume, which was interesting because I had never done that before, so it was an experience. They could be better, but they're not bad for a first try, I think.
That's not bad. Awesome.
Which
Well,
Comic-Con?
which Comic-Con?
Oh, Motor City.
Ah.
Or MC3, as it's so stylistically
Oh.
called.
Wow.
Since
That's
there's
not-
3 season there. That's MC3 is much better than MCCC, so,
That sounds fun. Have a good time. Anybody else have anything going on they want to plug, mention?
I do not.
Okay.
Annie Minneapolis is next week.
Okay. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, like I said, we try to just spotlight on the players, kind of see if you have anything you want to plug. For myself, here at the channel, we will have next week. We have 3 games we're going with. Wednesday night, we are starting our Dungeon World series. It is a mini series to start off with. It's called the Trash Mob, about some lovable losers who were the enemies of basically there's a warlord whose stronghold was invaded by the conquering adventurers. The adventurers, blew through the entire place and slew the bad guys, and conquered the warlord's stronghold. But there were a couple characters who were in rooms that the heroes never bothered looking in, a kitchen, laboratory, or something. They were the kind of the undiscovered trash that wasn't uncovered and slain by the adventurers. So our story focuses on what happens with the trash mob. No one bothered to kill them, so where does their story continue? So that's our Dungeon World story. We're beginning on Wednesday. Thursday is we're picking up with an individual story for Controlled Burn. We're going to be picking up with Dana's story with her first change. And just as a note, we do have a 4th character joining Controlled Burn. So we'll be setting up. Yep. So we'll be setting them up, and then Friday night we're coming back here to Call Cthulhu for episode 2. So lots going on with the channel. And if this is your first time here, again, thank you for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you can continue to enjoy everything with us. So I'm really tired. It's been a long day. I've been talking all day. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Again, thanks for joining, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Good night. See you
Good
next
night.
week.
Good night. See you next week.
Bye.